Now, the all-share index closed positive today on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, gaining 0.40% to close at 36,259.65 points. Now, this breaks a two-day losing streak experienced this week. Nestle leads the gainers table with an 8 naira gain, displacing Jos breweries, which seemed to top the list during early trading today. Now, others on that list are Nigerian breweries, Guinness and Champion. On the flip side, food giant Unilever tops the laggards table with a 3 naira loss. Banking stocks emerged investors' toast today, with UBA trading 21.8 million shares valued at 155.8 million naira. While Rotimi Fakayejo, the managing director of Enterprise Capital Partners, joins me for more on the equities market. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Rotimi. Now, we saw the market gain 0.40% today, breaking a two-day losing streak this week. Now, what drove activities on the floor today?
Well, for today, the activities were quite marked with so much being done in the consumer goods sector and the banking sector. We saw yesterday we saw a situation whereby those two sectors were the sectors that actually brought down the market. But the flip round today is that those ones were the ones responsible. We saw huge volume coming from the consumer goods sector, responsible for almost 50% of what was done in the market today. Yesterday, a total of 1.66 billion naira in value was done, but today we saw a situation whereby it went as high as 2.6. And I think basically we've seen it without turnaround came because a lot of the stocks that were trading low yesterday turned out being very attractive today. And we saw that in the likes of Guinness, the likes of Nigerian breweries, Nestle Foods, First Bank, Zenith, GT Bank, and a host of others. So basically, the market we continue in this streak, going back and forth until we enter into the last quarter of the year. So the activities today were actually very impressive.
Well, staying with consumer stocks, which you said, drove activities today, we saw Nestle take the lead with an 8 naira gain, displacing Jos breweries, which has been gaining about 10% each trading day for the last few sessions. I mean, today it gained just 56 kobo. What are your thoughts on that stock, talking about Jos breweries?
Well, for Jos breweries, there isn't any particular new information that is supposed to warrant the kind of continuous change that we have seen so far. That particular stock started from about 88 kobo some 6-7 weeks back, and today it is trading at about 6 naira 22 kobo. I think for me, there isn't anything substantial to actually put the price at what it is. But at the same time, I think the liquidity for that particular stock isn't there. So whoever is actually interested in buying volume will not be able to get it, but for the little that will be trickling in, which is actually responsible for the scarcity we are seeing in the market. And I think at a particular point, at a particular price, we're going to see a situation whereby the price is going to start declining. We saw the same thing happening in Champion breweries sometimes by when it traded as high as about 18 naira. It moved all the way from 3 naira 20 kobo to get to about 18 naira. And thereafter, we saw it started sliding down and now stagnated at about 15 naira 20 kobo or thereabout. So I believe basically we're going to see the same thing repeat itself in just international breweries.
All right. Now you're talking about consumer stocks driving the market today. I mean, on the flip side, rather, we're seeing Unilever topping the laggards table. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I think what is basically responsible for what we saw in Unilever is selling pressure, because as at the close of the market had extended for more than about another 10 minutes. I think we will have seen a situation whereby it wouldn't have closed losing the kind of share price that it did lose. And I think for the way the market ended yesterday, today, we saw a situation whereby at least there was a balance in the volume of buy and sell at the close of the market. So invariably, we're going to see a turnaround tomorrow for that particular stock.
All right. Now, well, just before you go, let's take what's your take on your stock picks for the week, going by activities in the market today?
Well, I think for what we saw in the market today, I think basically one of the stock picks basically will be UBA. And the reason for that is that there is a particular selling pressure coming from a particular stockbroking firm. And I think the volume is almost drying up today, because at a point in time we were seeing the stock trading at about 6 naira 92 kobo, but thereafter closing at 7.10. So invariably, if anybody buys it, at least you can be sure that in about 2 weeks or thereabout, you can coast on with about as much as 8%.
All right.